Alright, so we're checking out the ENGWE S6 folding electric scooter in this video. And this one here has a seat with a seat post suspension. So it's kind of, yeah, it's a sitting style scooter versus the normal sort of standing style kick scooter. And this one has a 37-mile range with a really large 48 volt 15.6 amp hour battery. So we've got some 10-inch by 2.75-inch pneumatic tires. They basically don't have any inner tubes, and they are puncture resistant. 140 millimeter disc brakes, and these are mechanical disc brakes, front and rear. And we also have front suspension here. I think these are just air shocks, and they don't have any lockout or adjustment. And you can also see the front headlight. Got a super wide deck here. It's about 10 inches, so obviously when you're sitting down you can put your feet side by side without them falling off. Kickstand over here. These are some turning lights. They blink when you're turning left and right. There's actually a blinker switch on the handlebar. I'll show you that here in a second. Here's the rear wheel, also 10 inches by 2.75 inches, and pneumatic. 140 millimeter disc brake there. Mechanical disc brake, and here are the rear shocks. And again, I think these are also air shocks, and there's two in the back here. So very comfortable ride in this one. That along with the the seat post suspension here, nice cushy, pretty cushy seat. Actually, I think this seat post suspension is actually a little bit too cushy. It's most of the bounces and stuff are absorbed by the seat post suspension, and I do sometimes have that bottom out of me because I am a heavier rider, about 200 pounds. You can adjust the height of the seat here. The seat folds down here on this latch, and that moves forward. The handlebar height is adjustable here. You have your wires going into this section. And the handlebar folds down on this section right here. And here's a latch as a safety as well, so that it doesn't pop out. When you unfold the bike, you do have to delatch the safety latch here on the front handlebar. And then also there is a hook right here that will go into the seat folding mechanism here, so you can actually pull up the scooter when it's folded down by the front handlebar. So there is a rear brake light here. When you pull on the brake lever, this lights up, but it's kind of facing more up versus back. I mean, you can see a little bit here in the back, but the majority of it is facing upwards. Here's a look at the handlebar. You got your display here, not that easily viewable in sunlight, and everything's in kilometers per hour, so I'm going to be reading that off to you in if I can see it. There's a key here. You get two keys. This turns the scooter on and off. Obviously you're going to need that if you want to turn it on. Twist throttle here. It's a full twist throttle. It's okay. I wish it was a half twist throttle, but you can get used to it. Of course, your handbrake here on the right. Got one on the left here. Regular grip here on the left. And you got some buttons here. Turns on the headlights. Got your blinker switch here, left and right. So, not sure it's going to show up in here. I'll show you a little clip there. In bright sunlight, you can't really see the blinkers too much. You can kind of see them going there a little bit, but it's not that visible. It's going to be more visible at night. And you got your horn, pretty loud. The whole handlebar here can fold down. You just pull on these sections here, there the arrow goes. So you pull them out like this, and then the handlebar will fold down, and then they're very easy to pull up. Just snaps into place, pretty cool. The wire management on this one, cable management, pretty good on this one, pretty clean. Got the sheath here. And then you see all the cables going into this section of the main front tube. So it's all hidden. And then coming down out of the bottom of that tube here and going to the front wheel area and also into the main deck. So the motor on this one is in the rear. It's a rear hub motor, 500 watts with 700 watts peak. Not a lot of torque. It can go up hills, roughly 15-degree climbing angle, but this is mainly meant for commuting on flat grounds with a single motor and a larger battery. So this is sort of like, I would say, a last mile scooter. Take it on some trains, buses, etc. Get you from point A to point B. Not a performance scooter by any means. Pretty comfortable to ride. But let's go ahead and get on this, and we'll, show you how fast it is and also how the ride is. It's very comfortable. All right, so this display is not very visible in this bright sunlight. I'm going to try and read it off as I'm riding along here. It's going to be in kilometers per hour. There's 3 speed levels that show up on here, but I think it has to do with how much you're twisting the throttle. So the more you're twisting it, it goes up 1, 2, and 3. So I'll tell you what speed or what gear I'm in, which is not really a geared speed level. All right, let's go. It just jumped right into, from 1 to 2. If you just pull on the throttle a little bit, it'll stay in 1. It's around 14 kilometers per hour. That way you're not going too fast. So obviously this scooter can go way faster, but if you want to keep your speed slow, just pull on the throttle a little bit. Let's go and pull a little bit more and go into speed level 2. And I can hear the front wheel fender rattling. It's plastic and it rattles. A little annoying. So now in level 2, I'm around, it looks like around 19 kilometers per hour. Again, this is pretty hard to read. Yeah, it's around 19. All right, let's go ahead and I'm gonna give it full throttle here. I'm going all the way. See how fast it goes. 32, 3, 34, 35. Wow, okay, that's fast enough. Whew. That's fast enough for me. I don't want to wipe out on this guy. So I'm not sure how much 35 kilometers per hour is. I'll put it up on the screen here. I think this one says it'll go up to 28 miles per hour. So this one is fast, but because it's only a 500 watt motor, it does take some time for the speed to build up. Honestly, on these tiny 10-inch wheels, I don't feel too comfortable going much faster than that 35 kilometers per hour that I was hitting. The scooter didn't feel unstable, like it wasn't wobbling or anything like that, or rattling, other than that rattle from the fender. It felt solid, just that the speed is a little intimidating for me. I don't really like going super fast. But the good thing is, if you want to go slower, you're probably going to be able to eke out more range, get closer to that 37 miles of max range that's advertised. If you're going full speed, full throttle the whole way and 100% of the time, you'll drain the battery a lot faster. And yeah, you won't get that 37 miles. You'll probably get something much lower, like 25 perhaps, if you're going full speed. Riding on sidewalks like this is going to be not a problem. It's a very smooth ride, very comfortable. You can go on a little bit of gravel like this, no problem. You can go on some dirt, some grass. Obviously it'll go. It's just not as fast because it doesn't have a super torquey motor. It's only 500 watts, but it will go. but not really recommend this. I don't really would recommend this for off-road use. So you want to stick to sidewalks and streets for this one. And you know, the nice thing about these seated scooters is that less likely that you'll get flipped over because your center of gravity is a lot lower. You know, some of these scooters, if you hit something really fast in the front wheel, you'll flip over the handlebars, then that'll hurt. I've seen some videos of people that have had some scooter accidents. That's a common one, and they get injured pretty badly. So wouldn't recommend that. But you know, obviously, if you're minding your speed on something like this, not going too fast, and you're sitting down, less likely of a crash happening of that magnitude. Yeah, overall, the scooter's been very nice to ride, smooth. You know, all the suspension, including the seat post suspension, you know, really smooths out all the bumps. On the bigger bumps, the seat post suspension is a little bit too soft. So maybe if there's a way to tighten it up so it's not so loose, that might might be better, especially if you're a heavier rider. If you're a lighter rider, probably not going to matter so much. I don't think it's going to matter at all. But other than that, yeah, this is a nice one. It folds up nice and compact. Put in your car. It's a nice last mile scooter. It's very useful. It is a bit on the heavier side at 55 pounds because it has a huge battery in it. But other than that, really nothing to complain about this one. Link down in the video description if you want to check it out. That'll do it for this video. Talk to you guys in the next one.